What's up, gays, straights, and other days? It's Mally. I'm back with another episode of Lady in Mystery, and we are greeted, of course, with the sight of our dear bestest buddy complaining. So last we left off, we basically solved the great murder case of the dude with the poisoning, lead poisoning, which I remembered because I am a genius. But we've also got some conflicting feelings now because we saw some alternate endings that revealed a little more than the normal endings would. And that is that Leader Kong is not all that she seems, and maybe not in a good way this time, so I am a little concerned. I'm a little concerned, but we're gonna keep trudging on. And I hope things work out because I love her a lot. Alright, Juhi, what are you bitching about now?
Do we have to walk all day again? I don't want to.
Juhi shook her head, walking out of the gate. Then she just tapped Huang Pao Guang's house gate for no reason.
We solved the case, but I still feel a little leery about this case. We still don't know who gave her the cup in the first place.
I think I do, and I hope I'm wrong. Even if we catch them, we can't accuse them of anything. We had no choice.
How so? That person is clearly responsible.
Well, that person let Mrs. Huang decide if she's going to use the cup in the first place, and she's the one who decided to use it even though she knew it could be dangerous. Did she really know it was dangerous, though? Did she? I don't know about that one, Hisu. So even if we find out who that was, that person can't be the main suspect or be responsible for anything.
That makes me hate them even more. They're not just bad, but also cowards.
And kinda clever, I hate to admit, but kinda clever, and I hope it's not who I think it is. I stood for a while and looked back at Huang Pao Guang's house, which doesn't have the owner anymore. Also, there's one more thing I haven't told you, and you haven't told me either, because I don't know what you're talking about.
Huh?
It was Huang Pao Guang's lies that all his stuff is worthless and can't even sell anymore. Maybe Huang Zhongnam and his wife, who has never even been to Hanyang, would believe that. But most of the stuff in the house was very precious things that they could sell with the price of their worth, or even more. Yeah, I think we saw that when Leader Kong was loading it all into her wagon before in the other ending. It was quite sad that she just gave up all those valuables for just a cup, and that all the family was destroyed just because of that lead cup. Yeah, it's depressing. Who gave it to them? No, this would have happened if everyone in the family were less greedy and backed down a little. Okay, hindsight, I guess. Then why did the old man Huang Pao Guang lie that his collections are worthless now and couldn't even sell anymore? He just didn't want to sell them when he's alive. Yeah, probably. I think that's a classic hoarder thing, like, oh no, it's worthless, don't even worry about it, we can't even get much, let's just keep it, I guess.
Wait, then that bastard is so lucky to get all those expensive Western paintings and antiques in exchange for that one cup. They said there were all kinds of valuables.
Then the gate was open again and Leader Kong walked out in light steps. Okay, I'm a little confused because we went through like 3 different endings last time, and I don't know what's real anymore. Juhi and Wusung closed their mouths as if they were raising their guard, but Leader Kong didn't seem to care at all and smiled brightly. My heart is conflicted when I look at you now. Oh, what were you talking about? Leader Kong seemed more tired than I first saw her, but she was still beautiful, and she dressed up perfectly as usual. Yeah, because she said that she only ever sleeps for like 4 hours, and I do that constantly, so I know what that's like. She walked under the shade with those perfect steps and perfect appearance and came closer to us. Behind her were a palanquin for her and donkeys for her servants coming out of the gate. Leader Kong looked at us holding a pair of straw shoes each and then frowned. I don't know if it's okay for you to walk on this rough, muddy road on those straw shoes, Lady Juhi. Do you want me to provide you a palanquin? I know you well enough by now, and that palanquin isn't for Juhi. You're just making an excuse.
No thanks. Juhi! I like walking the best.
Can we cut back to like 5 seconds ago?
Do we have to walk all day again? I don't want to.
But before Leader Kong even finished her sentence, Juhi rejected it. Which ironically was the opposite of what she said earlier, whining about how much she hates walking just until now. I'd prefer not to walk if we don't have to. You heard her. We like walking. Oh my god. Fine. You know what? Wusung, go be Juhi's chaperone. Go right the fuck ahead. I'm gonna stay with my lady. That was part of another ending. Maybe it's just not true at all in this universe. I'm gonna choose to believe that for now until I believe otherwise. I'm gonna be with you, babe. I'm gonna be with you. Oh my god. Mind your own business. You mind your own business. You take Juhi and fucking go then. Bye. We're walking. And even Wusung cut it and stopped what I was saying. Then I'll just take the donkey alone. Ha! Fuck you! I stepped forwards, making up my mind, but then Juhi and Woo-sung both grabbed my sleeves on each side and kept whispering in my ears, so I couldn't get away. Can you two not? No, never. We can't. They whispered as if they'd already planned it together. Does the ALP still exist in this universe still on this route? Because we did have to go past her library to get here. So that is still canon in this route. Oh, that's why. Okay. In the meantime, Leader Kong was maintaining her soft smile, waiting for a palanquin to come closer. Babe, pull me away. I don't care if you stab 50 people at this point, just get me away from this. Oh my god, we could talk about it later. By the way, I heard that you solved the mystery of that dude's tin cup. Yes, I'm going back to calling it that again because the moment is no longer serious, and I can't pronounce that name. Do you already know about that? There's nothing I don't hear, especially when it comes to you. I'm always paying attention. Leader Kong answered softly with a face I couldn't read, and then went up to the palanquin after bowing lightly. After a brief moment of catching eyes through the window of the palanquin, Leader Kong and her company went further away on their palanquin and donkeys. She didn't ask me twice if I wanted to join her, probably knowing that Juhi and Woo-sung are annoying as shit and would not let me go no matter what. Huh. Donkey. Yeah, it's the donkey you miss, sure. So it became only the three of us in front of the house again. Then Woo-sung picked up the bundle and pushed me in the back. Let's go. Fuck you, little brother. Fuck you. Come on.
Hurry. You said you can't guarantee if we'll be able to arrive at Hanyang even if we walk all day.
Ugh. You two suck so much. Then Juhi started to walk faster as if she was competing with Leader Kong's palanquin. You're not gonna win that. Juhi, wait up! Come on! Soon Woo-sung and Juhi started to get further away, leaving me behind. Hey! You two suck! Wait up! Hey! Wait for me! I started to run to catch up with Juhi and Woo-sung, and then I stopped. Why? When I looked back, Huang Pao Guang's house was just casting a lonely shadow on the spot where we were just standing. Yeah, boo-hoo, the house is empty, we're depressed. Let's fucking go! What are you doing, Hisu? Oh, what a coincidence I put poison in your tea. I guess that's the end of that episode. Cool, but oh my god, wait, no, that title's worrying me again. What a coincidence I yeah, reviewing for Urine episode 8 has been unlocked. Yeah, that's her episode, we're on her route. What a coincidence I put poison in your tea, given the whole information that we happened last time with all those multiple endings. You know what? No, I'm not gonna let this bother me. Fuck it. Until it's like brought up again or confirmed, I'm not gonna let it bother me because sometimes the game does that in alternate routes where it's like, this is important here, but not here. So, shut up. I love her. We're gonna keep going. New episode title? Oh, not quite yet. Okay, we have this really beautiful guitar now. You won't be able to come back for at least 10 years if you leave Songdo now. I know. Oh, are we getting a glimpse at you now? Babe. Yurin answered with a smile and then looked down. Take care and be safe in Hanyang, my lady. She will never be called my lady again. The ocean breeze from Sungchun Port tickled her hairs all along, and Yurin said goodbye to her servants one by one with her eyes, putting her hair behind her ears. Wait, my lady? You were nobility then? Please take good care of my father. Even when she got on the palanquin, her father didn't come out to see her go. She didn't even expect her siblings to come out and send her off when they went through desperate struggle over the leader position in Hanyang. Oh, but Yurin was looking at the streets of Songdo, wobbling on the palanquin, and closed the window of the palanquin. And at that moment, she realized that she's completely alone now. Fuck. That hurts my heart. Oh, episode 9, The Words in My Heart. Shit. Way to fucking break my heart with that, jeez. Wait. Are we still in her point of view? This is her place, so I'm gonna say yes? All the silk is damaged again. As the dawn rose, people all rushed into Yurin's residence. From a silk store owner to storage keeper, servants, and butler Zhang, all the people who are involved in the business gathered. So this is in color, so I'm gonna say we're back in the present. Okay. Yurin couldn't even sleep for an hour, but she sprang up right away as if she got burnt by burning oil. Butler Zhang shook his head. Again. What? When she rushed to the storage, it was already a mess. From the silk town that was imported from Qing to about 100 rolls of color cotton, linen, and ceramics. All the fabric was torn apart or faded and the ceramics were broken. It's already the 5th time. I'm sure the 6th store of Hanyang hired someone to do this again. Yurin bit her lips looking at her servant stamping on her feet. Ever since she came to Hanyang, not a day went by without trouble. Half of her goods kept getting damaged and she got death threats every day and night. Wait, what? What? That's why you don't sleep for more than 4 hours, because people keep making attempts on your fucking life. Yurin. Every time she made a deal with one place, she lost 2 places. She was hanging in, but she was walking a fine line every day. And back in the past again? Bring in all the guards who were on duty last night. Yurin clenched her fists really hard and tried to hold back her tremor. Soon, some tan workers were brought to the west building screaming. As soon as they were kneeled down on the ground, they looked around and held their breath. Yurin couldn't hold back her anger and drew a sword from the waist of a guard who was standing next to her. Babe. Songbong was filled with the scream of the guards who were on duty last night, begging for mercy and fear. How many times did this happen? You knew this was going to happen again, but you couldn't prevent it. You deserve to die. As Yurin was about to strike the sword, Butler Zheng jumped in front of Yurin. My lady, please calm down. My lady? Did you just say call me my lady? Me, a leader of Hanyang Songbong? Leader Kong, pardon me all to hell. Then Butler Zheng got surprised and prostrated himself before her. If anyone ever calls me my lady again, I'll chop your head no matter who you are. Yurin! Wait, what? Oh my god, what? She threw the sword away and turned around, but since everyone knew her temper, no one made a sound. Couldn't do anything on her way and no one was on her side. It was completely different when you came to Hanyang all alone and tried to start everything from scratch from when you were doing business in her hometown when your father was dominating as a chief like a king. Even though she became the sole successor among her siblings, it can be changed any time. You have to always remember that. Only those crucial words and advice that her father told her to meditate every day and night remained in her brain. Before Yurin came to Hanyang, her father called her alone and gave her some advice. Yurin, what do you think is the most important thing for a big merchant? Isn't it credibility? You told us 7 siblings a few years ago. No, that's very small merchants. You're going to own this Chosun. Credibility can't be the most important value for you. The most important value for the big merchant is different. And the last word her father put above everything else was, be heartless. Oh, that was it. You don't have a family now. We're born merchants. You have to get rid of everything that can distract you from making profits. The most distracting thing is a kind feeling and humanity. You have to throw all your siblings in the mud without hesitation. What the fuck? Don't even try to think about trivial thoughts like love, joy, or sorrow. They are just siblings for me, but they are precious children of yours. How can you say that? That's the heartlessness of a big merchant. If I just wanted to be a normal father, or if I wanted to live as the second son of your grandfather, I wouldn't be in this place today. That's terrible. Wait, then are her feelings for me even real, or is she just manipulating me? I'm confused now. That's what family is. No, it's not. I spent so long trying to figure out what family was supposed to be, and that's not it. If you don't abandon it mercilessly, it's going to drag you down harder than any other people. The second daughter among 7 siblings. Yurin had an older stepbrother, an older stepsister, 2 younger brothers, and 2 younger sisters. There was a time when everyone was hanging out together in the living room innocently, not knowing anything. Her father did love every child with a warm heart when they were all little. Only grown-ups knew that this peace wouldn't be long. Family get along together in a hard time, but as soon as the situation gets better, they all think of something else behind each other's back and set at odds with each other for greed. They are on your side when you're in the corner or when you're fighting against someone else, but once all the calamities are gone, you will fight against each other to get the better portion of what you have. You get betrayed because you counted on them, and you get to hate them more than anyone because you trusted them. That is the family. So do you think it's possible for a merchant who's going to make a big fortune to share their peace and wealth with their family? Not to mention strangers, friends, and lovers, but even with a family, anything other than a reasonable trade doesn't mean anything. I'm not going to be the father of anyone else other than you. You are not the first son, first daughter of my direct heir, but you are going to be my only child since you are the smartest one. This is my deal, in exchange for... In exchange for everything you'll do from now on. Wait, what? What you're going to have is the throne that was built on thousands of lives and greed and the cushion weaved with flesh and blood. What? You can't sit on it before you abandon the mindset of a human. Keep that in mind. Then does she love me or is she just manipulating me? Now I'm confused. She had to calculate nervously how to cover a loss for the damaged goods. Even while she's calculating, her father's voice kept coming across her mind. A deal with her father. A promise she made with a big merchant. She knew about the harsh meaning of everything quite a while ago. But Yuri just didn't want to disappoint her father. She didn't want to betray his trust. The paper on her hand was crinkled. She was going to write a letter to the silk store owner, but she got distracted. A few pieces of empty paper were ripped apart and abandoned on the floor. She could hear the butler Jung hitting the guard outside who was on duty last night for their mistake. The yard was filled with their screams. As always. It was about that time when the superintendent came to Songbong with his soldiers. Come out and surrender! The leader of Songbong, Kang Yunan, should come out and surrender for inciting a murder. Wait. So this is the past then? This is still... We haven't gone back to the present yet. This must be the charge that I cleared her for. But was she guilty at all? Wait, no, come back. Hey! What? What's happening? What? Wait, are we still in the past? Hold on, let me read this definition first before we get into this. Supreme Court soldiers protecting the palace and public order. They were divided into two units, a unit that protects the palace and a unit that followed the king's order. Their main task was to arrest the serious criminals. The soldiers tied Yurin's hands with red rope and dragged her around everywhere on purpose. But she couldn't resist. Yurin looked around the crowd in the middle of Mapo Port with her hands tied with empty eyes. Sir, do you really have to interrogate our leader in public like this where everyone can watch? Can you please do this inside the court? She really didn't do anything. I'm gonna say that this is still the past even though we're in color now. Because this must be telling the story of how I cleared her from that charge. The butler Zhang had been begging for a while with tears, but the superintendent ignored him. He just pushed that old man and tied the rope on Yurin's hands even tighter. It was her loyal servant Jawoon who followed her from Songdo that made a false confession. Jawoon was a servant when she was little, and when she grew up, she dressed up like a man and did Yurin lots of favors. She was the only woman in Songbong where everyone else is a guy except for Nobi's, and she was Yurin's old friend. She was the only one who made Yurin remember the days in Songdo. That Jawoon was telling a downright lie with quivering lips and couldn't even look up. Wait, you said that Seyung looked like her. Seyung looks nothing like her. Leader Kong, come on. My leader forced me to do this. I was blackmailed and forced to draw a sword. She told me to kill the big merchant of 6th store of Hanyang, Cha Chul, so I was just an accessory to murder who was forced to do this, and the main culprit is her. Then she caught Jawoon's eyes. Yurin looked away to Han River, but she knew that Jawoon was looking at her. What was she going to get in return? Was she going to get a lot of money? Higher social status? Did she hate the responsibility while living in Songbong all along? Is that why she did this? To run away from everything? Because she knew that I wasn't going to let her go? Is that why she's manipulated by Hanyang people? Jawoon, if you needed money, you should have stolen something, and if you wanted freedom, then you should have just run. Now you're going to die as well. But before she even finished the last sentence, the superintendent pulled the rope. Yurin managed to stand and looked up. Finally, she didn't even feel anger. Half the crowd are merchants from that freaking 6 stores of Hanyang. Owners of the metal store, fabric and silk store, and their secretaries and other employees. They must have hated her so much. She didn't run away when they threatened her life and they failed to stop her from doing her business. Now they are trying to use the government office. Her most loyal servant confessed that she killed the person and that she did it because her leader told her to do so. Even if Yurin doesn't get executed, she wouldn't be able to do business anymore. Yeah, this must be how Hisu met her then. You are going to be my only child since you are the smartest one. This is my deal. There's no place in Songdo for her to be the smartest child anymore. I went to this port after midnight past the curfew, and I secretly followed Cha Chul who was secretly unloading the goods. Leader Kong kept threatening me that she would kill me if I didn't kill him. So right in this spot, Jawoon looked at the body on the floor that hasn't even done examine and looked up quivering. She hurriedly pointed at the body with her sword and closed her eyes. Teardrops on Jawoon's eyelashes fell down to the ground. Yurin gave the sword that Jawoon was holding a while ago so that she wouldn't feel intimidated by anyone. She bought it herself and gave it to her on the first day they went to Hanyang. But she never asked her to even push anyone, let alone kill a person. Leader Kong was watching me from the distance on her palanquin. Jawoon's voice was quivering even more. Then there was clamor from the distance with a cloud of dust and it was getting closer. It was gangsters in Mapoport making a fuss. They were cursing and running, but when they saw the soldiers, they got surprised and stopped. Wait, what? Me? Wait, you thought I was a gangster? Leader Kong, that's a little more credit than I thought you'd. Okay. At the very front was a young Yongbong with milky white skin standing with a dumbfounded face. He seemed like he was being chased by those gangsters since his gat was all crinkled and his neck and arms were full of bruises. Oh, I was being chased by gangsters, not actually. Alright, that makes more sense. What is all this about? Making a fuss in front of the soldiers? Do you all want to go to jail? Whoa, sir, this is unfair. We're just trying to get back the money we lent him. The gangsters answered slyly and scattered away like a bunch of flies when the superintendent waved the sword in the sheath a couple of times. The young Yongbong, left alone, adjusted his gat and then stayed in the crowd looking at Yurun blankly. I guess Wusung isn't with me. There were lots of spectators anyway. It wouldn't make any difference to have one more. Yurun closed her eyes. Jawoon continued her confession. Anyway, so I had to kill him with this sword. I slit Cha Chul's chest twice, and he died right away. It was exactly what Leader Kong told me to do, and I went back to my place under Leader Kong's supervision. Jawoon gave a sigh quietly after finishing her confession. No one would have heard that, but Yurun was listening to that sensitively enough. But when Jawoon was supposed to continue, another voice interrupted. Mine? None of these things that the woman said make sense at all. When she opened her eyes, she could see that young Yongbon again. He was stepping forward and pointing at the body with his fan. He would have been dragged out and beaten by the soldiers if he was a plebeian, but he was free from restraint since he was a Yongbong with a wide gat. The superintendent frowned and stepped forward. What are you talking about? Because I don't know what made you think he was stabbed. With his words, everyone's eyes were at the body before the autopsy. There were 2 diagonal blade scars on the body. Those were very deep and big scars which obviously made the guy dead. The Yongbong gave a sigh and started shaking his head, pointing at each part of the body. There are 2 things that I want to say. It's really odd how these are marks on either side of the body and how these scars retracted. Odd? You could only see this kind of stain over 6 hours after death. When the body was lying down, the mark would be on the back, and when it was lying down in the stomach, the mark would be on its chest. But this body has 2 marks on either side, which means that the body was flipped more than twice over 6 hours over the death. And then there's one question here. If that person was forced to kill a person and went right back to her place, then who flipped the body? With his words, all the soldiers came and flipped the body on different sides. There were marks on the back and on the chest at the same time, and both of the marks were so vivid that anyone could see with their eyes. Another odd thing is how these scars were retracted. If you cut living human skin, skin layers are agglomerated in a way. The outer layer of the skin, oil layer, and the red meat part are all pushed by the blade and get agglomerated together. It just becomes one big chunk, which is obviously not that case of this body. The scars in this body are completely different. The Yongbon simulated cutting the meat with his fan, saying something scary with an innocent voice. If you can't believe me, then you can actually see it yourselves now. Is the woman tied up the leader of Songbong? Then the price of a couple of pigs would be nothing for her. Let her tell her servants to get the pigs. As he finished the last sentence, the Yongbong turned around and looked at Yurun. He was pale, small, skinny, and had about the same height as Jawoon. Yurun was gaping at him and then turned around and called Butler Zhang. Have someone get 2 pigs, and 1 butcher. Soon, in the middle of Mapo Port, the stage to experiment on what Yongbon said was set up. The butcher who brought the port tied up 2 pigs. They decided to kill 1 pig with a sword while it's still alive and strangle the other one to death and then cut it with a sword after it's dead. The butcher seemed nervous since it was his first time holding an expensive sword, but he soon wielded Jawoon's sword to the pigs. Half of a day had passed. Wait, what? Did it take that long? Some of the spectators who were not related to this case went back to their home, and some of the spectators who joined later got bored as well and left, and we've collected Mapo Port, which is a bustling inland port on the outskirts of Hanyang. A wide shopping district has been formed around Mapo Port. Seafood and salt were their main products. When the sun was back to set, the port was almost empty. Only merchants related to the 6 stores of Hanyang left and waited for Yurun to fall. Now look here. As the Yongbong waved his hand, the butcher put a sword in the pig that was strangled to death earlier in the day. It was not easy to put the sword in, so he had to push it hard, which made a deeper wound. And the blood didn't splatter at all and just slipped along. And as the butcher opened up the wound, everyone gasped. The cross-section of the wound was divided by layers as if he just cut the layered rice cake. Ugh, gross. If you put the sword in after it's dead, since it's not alive anymore, you can have this clear boundary of each layer. So it's a downright lie that this woman killed the guy on the spot with the sword, which means it's also a lie that this leader forced her to do that. We can find the main suspect if we track down who forced her to make a false confession. Because no one's making a false confession without a reason. Yeah, because they want to bring Yurin down, which means Yurin is innocent. Which means that I don't think that she was the so-called ghost that gave the cup either. Oh. We're okay. As soon as the Yangban finished his words, Xiaowun was roughly tied up. Yurin got surprised and froze, looking at the Yangban. Then her body was swaying again. Superintendent was untying the rope from her hands. Oh, that must hurt. Sorry, babe. Hi. Consider yourself lucky, but stay low. Xiaowun was crying and calling Yurin, but Yurin turned around against her already and never looked back again. Yeah, it's your own fault for that, dude. It's your own fucking fault. Instead, she was looking at this young Yongbang who turned around and went to his brother. Oh, I guess Wusung was there. What is your name? Since she hasn't had any water for 2 days, her voice was buried in the air as if her throat was closed. But the young Yangban heard that and turned around right away. Yangban smiled in a sassy way, pushing his gat down, which was about to fly away by the river breeze. Oh, I'm Kim Hisu. You're very welcome to reward me generously. I'm kidding, don't. I think I was kidding. Yeah. Aw. So that's the story of how we met. And all because I couldn't stand to see something go, I guess, an innocent person get prosecuted. And we're in my point of view. Sir, detective sir, you there? I'm coming in. What? What merchant? Wait, that's not my leader Kong, is it? No, I don't think so, it would have said. Suddenly a group of merchants sprouted. Hold the fuck on! So Leader Kong was innocent. I cleared her of its charge, which explains why she's so, indebted to me. But did she actually fall in love with me then? Or does she just feel that way because she feels that she owes me a debt? Because I don't want her to be in love with me just because she owes me a debt. You're not the first case I've solved, babe, but... I don't know, whatever. She's innocent, which means everything's okay now. Okay. Of all occasions, they came when I was alone in Shanghuso. Juhi went to the market with Makwa, and even Wusung was following them. Okay, so we are for sure back in the present. I was sitting on a chair alone and then got up, flustered. My goodness. What is going on? The merchants gave me a bunch of the same papers and started complaining. Sir, you should sign this paper as well. You're doing business in Nanjong Street as well. We Hanyang merchants are all going to go out of business. What are you talking about? Let me hear what happened first before I sign this. As I got surprised and looked around, I recognized all the familiar faces. From clerks from the silk store to Mr. Yu from the seafood store, Mr. Park from rice store, they were all merchants who were doing business in Nanjong Street. Well, it's not like I'm selling goods. Why? The flyer they gave me was quite long. When I skimmed through it, I wasn't sure what exactly it was about, but it seemed really urgent. Originally, only authorized merchant from Anjong Street could sell the goods with high taxes, but then the right to do business in Hanyang might be open to people from other areas. It was the first in hundreds of years of Hanyang history. Well, God, this is a lot. It is a big deal. It's driving us crazy. The rumor is that from next year, they might just remove the ban on unauthorized business in Hanyang and stop protecting us, Hanyang residents. Are you trying to unionize? We got a term. Gum nan zhen quan. I think. I don't know. Ban on unauthorized business in Hanyang. It means that outsiders can't sell anything in Hanyang. Only 6 stores and the member of the association who got permission from the government could do business. So, literally union versus non-union. Okay. That right included the regulation right. If an outsider tried to do business in Hanyang, they could stop them. What does this have to do with me? This is all because of those merchants from outside. We have to stop them in any way. Wait, does that include Leader Kong? Oh, I got it. I'll talk to my sister and brother when they get back. Just leave me some of your flyers. The merchants seemed to be in a rush. They left some flyers on the store and left. They seemed to stop by all the stores in Anjong Street. Before long, in less than half an hour, the door was open again with a squeaky sound. Ugh! Can you be fucking patient? I said give me some time. I'm pretty sure my siblings aren't back yet. Oh my god, what do you want? It must be the merchants again. I didn't really feel like agreeing with them, so I didn't even look up, but then, somehow, I couldn't hear anything. What do you mean you couldn't? They probably just walked off then. Wait, something felt weird. Oh my god, if it's Iljime, I'm gonna... Go away! We have no business together. I said I wouldn't rat you out. Leave me alone. Close the door on your way out. Phew, ugh. Because usually when they say something feels weird, it means you. What do you want? Music stopped. When I looked up, the door was open, but there was no one on the other side. Okay, lgbtqgame? Not funny. Just come out and get this over with. Spread your fucking twigs or whatever. The door opened so abruptly that I thought it might have just been the wind, or an annoying certain little assassin thing that likes to follow me around. When I was about to lie down on my desk again, someone rushed into the junghuso. Okay, someone's vibrating my tail. Table. Fuck. I'm trying to sleep. What do you want, lgbtqgame? Wait. Oh, and we got a new theme! Wait. You have to listen to this. Oh my goodness, this theme is so pretty and romantic. Hi. I legitimately did not think that was gonna be her. I thought lgbtqgame was gonna bother me again. Okay. Hello? Shh. Please, be quiet. Oh. Hi. Wow, you're very close to my face. I almost fell down on the back of my chair, and Leader Kong put her finger on my lips in front of me. Those are her lips, but okay. That red safflower powder Leader Kong had on her lips got on the tip of the fingers. At the same time, I could hear merchants shouting, "Get her." Oh fuck, they're after you! I had a feeling. Hello? Hi. Get her? I have her now. Oh. Hi. Get her. When I was surprised, Leader Kong started to smile. I almost got killed. Don't laugh about that, baby! Everyone started to rush at me as soon as they saw me. That's not a laughing matter! Why are you Okay. I guess you're hiding with me? What's going on? Hello? Lean in a little more, maybe?
You better pack your bag and move to Simp City right now.
Well, actually, I made the metal store of the 6 stores in Hanyang close. Oh. You bad girl. I just got annoyed at Hanyang residents making profits only with themselves. Oh, you're all for expanding the business. I guess that makes sense. Alright. Hi. Ooh. Oh my, you are very close to my face. Leader Kong was leisurely touching the lock with her long fingers. It provoked them, and now they're going around and trying to get signatures or whatever. Oh. Good thing I didn't sign it then. I can't even walk around Unjong Street anymore. You want to stay with me, then? I never knew they were going to chase me with knives. Leader Kong! Yuden, that is dangerous! How are you so blasé about this? Babe, those things hurt! Babe, those things kill people! Leader Kong was laughing, talking about how she could have died for real. She was talking so naturally like nothing that I almost didn't recognize what the hell she was talking about. The metal store of the 6 stores in Hanyang is the most powerful and the richest monopoly store in Hanyang. Oh. Babe, that was a little reckless on your part. Babe. That store is the center of all the merchants in Hanyang, and she just made them close their store? Well, she's probably like looking for equal rights for all merchants, which is honestly really sexy. My gosh, then the people shouting outside now are chasing you right now? Okay. And the people who came to get my signature earlier were... I guess so. Oh. Now I'm really glad that I didn't sign, if that makes you feel any better. You're safe with me. Leader Kong sat down with a ridiculously calm attitude and asked for my permission later. So, for that reason, can I hide in your store for a while? Sure. You can't go outside for a while, right? Hey, I do the same thing every 5 years. I throw up a blanket and I stay inside. Yo! I was surprised, went to the door and locked it. When I looked up after pushing the door, Leader Kong, who was leaning her hands and back against the door, tilted her head from a very close distance. She looked at me with eyes that have a much lighter color than the others. Yeah, they're like butterscotch candy and it's just my favorite thing. She reached her hand and touched my hair around my ear. Her finger was so cold that I almost forgot it was summer. It slid down between my cheek and my ear. Oh. When she took her hands off, there was a strand of horsehair between her fingers that was stuck in my head. Your gat is so old. Strands are falling off. I'm so happy. Oh my god, these tender touches my heart. Ugh. And the other routes, it took so long to get here, but Leader Kong just can't seem to keep her hands off of me. I froze on the spot for a while. Then I came to senses after I heard someone knocking on the door from outside. I got surprised and got away from the door, but Leader Kong got even closer to the door and tried to listen to the other side like a little girl. You're so cute. I thought someone was after Leader Kong. Is anyone there? But the voice from outside was very soft and thin voice of a woman. Well, I didn't give you that voice at all. Whoops. Oh. Wait, what? Don't tell me it's Jawoon. Wouldn't she have gotten executed? No. No, this is a different person. And a new character, apparently. Jesus. Okay, well... oh. Wow. This looks like it's gonna be getting into a whole other thing, and I think I need a moment to, calm my racing heart down after that. We found out our backstory and how we met Leader Kong, and we found out that she is innocent, which, I mean, had a feeling. I didn't really think that Leader Kong would, like, ever be, like, a murderer. That just... She may be crafty, but I don't think she'd ever go that far without a real reason, so I'm so glad my baby is innocent. I'm so fucking glad, and just, this route, oh my god. It's gotta be my favorite so far, because it's so romantic. Like, the music and the tender touches and the longing glances and her basically backing me up against a wall like that, like, ooh. I like that very, very much. So we're gonna pick this up next time, but thank you so much whoever happens to be watching this. Like, comment, and subscribe for more of this gay panic. And until next time, bye!